What's up, everybody? This is your host, Neezy A, otherwise known as Nicholas Anderson, former Tulane linebacker, current NFL linebacker. And this is our first episode of Talking That Yeah podcast. Now,
Talking that, yeah.
introduce y'all to my co host, man. Take it away.
Larry Brooks, man, former Tulane DB, number 31, man. I know y'all see me out there making plays for sure. But yeah, we finna get started.
Most definitely, man. And just want to say, first and foremost, the first thing we're going to hit is just talking about how we came up with this idea to do a podcast. And, just to start off, man, podcast is something that's really growing in the technology world, in the social media world right now. Everybody getting in front of a camera, speaking their minds on different stuff. And so in the pre-draft process, man, me and Larry, we was chilling and was like,
Yep.
we can do that. We can do that. Talking to each other, watching Shannon Sharp's podcast, watching Ethan Hudak and Noah's podcast, which is local with those guys.
Kelsey Brothers.
Yep, yep.
Kelsey Brothers got their
Kelsey Brothers got their podcast. So it's just one of those things that we're like, man, why not? It's something fun to do. It's something, we always got things to talk about, whether it's controversial or, just in general, sports, lifestyle. And so, yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Me and Nisa, we always had a lot of debates going back and forth when we was living with each other and stuff like that. So I feel like this is perfect for us.
And most definitely, man, just going forward, everything, we got a lot more in store. But before we get into the details of what's to come with this whole podcast, we got to do a segment on Tulane football, especially us being alum, man. It's different being an alum. Larry, how you feel about being an alum?
Man, it's different, man. It's like, going to the home opener, man, and like just watching them run out the tunnel and just not run out the tunnel with them, come out the locker room with them is a little different. Make me feel like, man, like, it's just crazy. I don't even know how to explain it.
Man, yeah, man, it's definitely different not having them pass on in Yeoman Stadium. But our first game back, the boys took care of business versus South Alabama,
So,
which is always sweet because I was a South Alabama commit before I came to Tulane. But roll away, man. You see what we ended with. But it was just sweet to see them boys go out, man. See, just defensively what they were able to do, man. And so, first and foremost, Larry, I just want you to just talk about the defense. Talk about those guys coming back, man. What you saw when we was out there.
them DBs out there, them boys balling. Lance Robinson, man. Big shout out to Lance Robinson, man, getting a pick. I think he was in maybe cover 2, little trap corner. He hinged a little bit. High point the ball. Man, great play. Great play, dog. For sure.
And also,
I think Corey Play had 15. He had 15 that game.
we have 15.
He had
And
15.
definitely want to give a shout out to that boy C. Platt. Give a shout out to that boy Jesus Machado. Because, with me and Dorian leaving, everybody was like, okay, who's going to do their thing? But me and Dorian was like the team in good hands at the linebacker position because we knew that back then number 45 and number 35, now number 99 and number 9 was going to do their thing. But them boys, man, went out there and had a day. Like he said, shout out to C. Platt. Went out there, had 15 tackles at TFL. Shout out to that boy Jesus Machado, which was right behind him, number 2 on the defense with 8 tackles. I think he had a TFL too. And then shout out to that D line.
Yeah, we can't forget about them boys up front, man. We can't forget about them boys.
That boy Pat Jenkins.
Jenkins.
Watch list, big number 0. I think he had a sack and a half, and then big Cam Hamilton. Cam say, hey, man, I don't hear no BS, but I play, boy.
Yeah.
Had 2 sacks, man. Shout out to that boy Cam. He had 2 sacks on the night. And then, like Larry said, man, hey, Larry, I want you to dive into that back end a little bit more, man. With you playing with them boys and you seeing them going out the ball, and let's talk about it.
No, for sure, man. I already knew what them boys gonna come out and do. You got 2 corners coming back, man. A lot of experience on the outside. Then you got Slim Spaney and DJ Douglas, guys that played a lot last year. So, I mean, I had no worries for them guys to come out and ball, man. Them dudes, they been prepared, ready to go. So,
most definitely, man. Man, we not just a defensive mindset. We on the flip side of things, man. We fans now. We supporters more so. And so let's also give a shout out to the offense, man. We got
for sure.
Number 7, Michael Pratt for Heisman.
Pratt for Heisman, for sure.
Jim Nagy was at the game. He already know who he bringing to Mobile at the end of the season. I didn't get an invite. My boy Pratt gonna be there. Yes,
no,
for
sure.
But yeah, for sure, man. That boy Pratt went 4 for 15, and the one incompletion was in the end zone. Should have been a touchdown.
Mm,
But you can't have them all. You can't have them all. Threw over 200 yards and just had a day for real. Jaquan Jackson had over 100 yards receiving. Caught 2 touchdowns off 3 receptions.
mm.
3 receptions. So 2 out of the 3 receptions he had was in the end zone. Big time plays, explosive plays. And then you got to give a shout out to Lawrence Keys, who came just 4 yards shy of having 100 yards, and also had another TD. And then Chris Brazel. Larry, I want you to talk about Chris, man.
Chris
You see
Brazel, Texas guy. You know what I'm saying? He's a Texas guy, long guy on the outside, gives that deep ball. Head top type of guy. You know what I'm saying? Gives that just that energy on the sideline. I like to see everybody doing this on the sideline. Fade ball guy. So, man, I can't wait to see him play this week.
Most definitely, man. Hey, before the game, man, I was having myself a good time talking to Jim Nagy. I was telling him watch out for Chris. He asked me, "What year is that guy?" I'm like, he only a sophomore, but just stay ready, just stay ready, because I know he's gonna do big things. And the boy Chris didn't disappoint by going out there and getting his first career touchdown for the Wave. So, shout out to them boys, and let's not forget the offensive line.
Mm,
Shout out to those guys up front. You got an offensive line that is very well experienced. You got Sincere, you got Prince, you got Big
yep.
Josh Remy, and you got Ra, and then the big LSU transfer on the outside. Shout out to them boys, man. Everybody had
They
questions about
nasty up front, man. Nasty.
nasty, man. Hey, that boy Prince don't say too much, man. But in them trenches, he get that business done, man. And Sincere, hey, me and Sincere, we had our battles, man. We had our battles, but he's definitely a dog, definitely a high caliber player. So shout out to that Wave, man. And Larry, how you feel about the coaching staff, man? They was talking all that noise about the coaching staff, but I think they doing pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, sure, coach staff look good. They calling everything up. That's what it looked like to me.
That's what I'm
So
saying, man. Coach Nagel, shout out to him, man. Hey,
they calling it up, man.
he didn't miss a beat, man, from last year, man. Offense was explosive. And then shout out to Coach Woods on the other side of the
Yep,
ball, which is going out there and just doing his thing, man. Hey, Troy had a great defense last year, and
yep.
you know, looked like our defense, picking up right where they left off. He's a very aggressive play caller, and that's what I love to see, man. I love to see guys blitzing, getting after the ball, getting TFLs. It's a really good thing to see, man. So definitely being there for that home opener was amazing. Now we gotta flip the script to them
Yeah.
boys in Mississippi, man. I like to call them Old Piss, but Ole Miss, man. I gotta flip the script to Ole Miss. We played them 2 years ago, man. I'm gonna let Larry talk to y'all about how it went 2 years ago.
Man, whew. 2 years ago, man, it was rough for us, but we went out there. We gave it all, man. We was a little banged up out there, but it just didn't. It wasn't too pretty for us, man. But we just it built us. It built us for the next year. It really did. It really built us for the next year. I'll say that.
Most definitely, man. It definitely wasn't pretty. That was the night that Larry got injured,
Yeah,
Dorian got thrown out the game for targeting, Pat got injured, Corin
yeah.
got injured, I broke my leg. It just
It was rough. It was a
it
rough.
was raining. It just was not a good night. But hey, the other night we took a loss, but just want to say we were in that game to the end, really, and we saw a lot of good things out of them boys, man. Larry, what's some things you saw watching them
Man,
Saturday?
I just really want to say. I mean, honestly, man, it was we we could win. We should have won that game, man. It was just some time, some points, some things that happened here and there that we just got to fix up. And man, but it's a different game. You know what I'm saying? So
Most definitely, man. Hey, before the game, it was a lot of controversy over, whether Pratt was gonna play,
yeah,
uh, Abieta. Everybody was in the uproar. Pratt's not playing. Oh my God, what are we gonna do?
yeah.
Decided to, I don't usually do this, but decided to have a little Twitter fingers. And I remember tweeting M7, K12, J13.
It don't matter.
No matter.
It don't matter.
Ain't about 30.
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause that's just how I love my team, and that's I play with them boys, man. And
yeah.
so when the game started, and we saw K12 make his
Come up
second
there.
career start for the Wave,
Yeah,
we knew he was gonna do his thing. And by goodness, he did his thing. He
for sure.
had 15 for 37, which is pretty good for his second start. had 231 passing yards,
Hmm.
and threw a touchdown. What more can you ask for somebody who probably didn't know they was gonna start until the game started? It just
Yeah.
shows, preparation.
Nah, yeah, man. He came. He went out there and did his thing for sure. Went out there and did his thing.
And then
That's Carthage guy, man. Takes another Texas guy, man. That's what we do.
that's
That's
hey,
what we do.
shout out to Texas football, man. Hey, now let's flip it a little bit and give a shout out to them Bama boys. Makai Hughes,
Mm.
23 carries, 92 yards, and a touchdown. Another guy that don't really say a lot, but his work always shows on the field. Larry, tell
It
me
was
what about
it was
Makai.
a lot of questions, man. Talking about, about our offense. Talking about, everybody saying Ty J, he going, man. What we gonna do? Who's gonna be the next guy up, the running back? And Makai Hughes, he stepped up big time. He
Most
stepped up big time for sure.
just watching the game, the announcers kept saying they love how he fall forward. He just does everything right. And really just watching Makai last year, man, he was a freshman, but he is somebody that caught my eye early in the year,
Hmm.
especially summer workouts. He was somebody that showed up, like I said, didn't say too much, showed up, handled his business. That's why he was on my squad, the winning squad of the first Tulane Great Surge, and he handled his business that night. So I knew he had big things in store and he didn't disappoint. Going out there and handling his business versus Ole Miss. Now let's flip to the defensive side versus Ole Miss.
Yeah,
You got a powerhouse school coming in. I think Ole Miss was ranked number 3 offense in the nation last year, something like that. Lane Kiffin, a mad scientist.
yeah,
Larry, what was you thinking about the defense coming into that game?
man. Line up and play. It's that simple. Line up and play, man. We got the guys to do it. So, man, and they look pretty good to me. Of course, we gave up more than we got. You know what I'm saying? So you just
Hey,
gotta keep working, man. So
most definitely, most definitely. Hey, another thing that I want to say, shout out to them backers. Hey man, you had Tyler Grubbs go out there. It was up in the air about Corey Platt because he went down versus South Alabama. Oh my God, what are they gonna do? I even heard the announcers talking about Nick and Dorian. Nick and Dorian in the NFL, man. What you talking about us for? We got
yeah,
backers. We got backers. But yeah, man, shout out to that boy Tyler Grubbs going out there having 9 tackles, a big hit on the sideline that I saw, and just being in that backfield really just causing destruction. He was a guy that played the week before, but it really just showed that no matter who's on the field, guys out there making plays. And not only Tyler Grubbs, Jesus Machado had another big game, 8 tackles, a half TFL, and then Jared Small, LSU transfer. Not that big of a guy, but got out there and handled business. Had 1.5 TFL and showed up all over the state. Shout out to them boys. Larry, I want you to talk about that D line though.
D
That
line,
line.
D line. What did D line do?
Hey, D
What
line.
D line do?
Hey, what
They
they did.
got the quarterback. I know that for
They
sure.
didn't. Hey, the quarterback, he was rattled. He
What?
was rattled. The whole first half. At the end of the game, he got out there trying to flash and stuff.
Yeah.
But I saw him picking up his helmet the first half. Hey,
I know. Hey, once I saw that one play, I'm not sure who hit him, but they had him wrapped up in backfield. The dude came and hit him, and his helmet came out. I said, "Oh yeah, oh
yeah.
yeah,
Hey, I remember that.
yeah,
The second quarter, Jesus Machado went
mm,
low, wrapped him up. Tyler Grubbs come clean him up.
mm,
Helmet came off. Hey,
yeah,
tell them boys at Ole Miss they need Devin Charles Hubbard to come tighten them helmets up. Going back to the SEC. But nah, man, yeah, quarterback, he got hyped. They had a couple, one hand catches, but my boy Lance had a big catch too.
yeah.
Pick,
Ran
pick.
around for him.
Mm.
Big shout out to Lance,
Crazy,
man.
but
Yeah, man. Hey, that's T 2 for 2, man.
hey,
Two games, 2 picks.
mm. Hey man, so like I said, man, Slim Despaney also had a big game,
Yeah.
8 tackles. I know you and Slim close, man. Talk to me a little bit about Slim Despaney.
Nah, yeah, man. I talked a little bit to Slim after the game, man. He was a little disappointed because that of course the loss. But I told him, man, hey, man, just keep going, man. Y'all boys, keep y'all heads up. Y'all keep going, man, and don't let this one game determine the season, man. Don't let this team beat y'all twice. Y'all go ahead and move on to Southern Miss because you can't do nothing about it no more. So we on Southern Miss and get that belt back, man, because it's a big game.
Most definitely, man. And I can't end talking about Ole Miss without giving a shout out to them D line, them boys up front. Them boys that experienced, everybody was like, oh my God, what the D line gonna do? Like, who's gonna be that guy?
Yeah,
We got
The
The
Jet, he
Jet,
showed up big
the
time, man.
Jet showed up big time, man, with 1.5 sacks versus Ole Miss. I saw him doing his dance a little bit. Pat Jenkins, constant disruption in the backfield. I love to see that. The boy played with no gloves. Gloves.
Nah, the combination between man, Jet coming off the edge, man, and Pack pushing the pocket, man, it's just a sack waiting to happen, man,
Most
for
definitely.
sure.
And then shout out to my boy Big E. Got in the backfield and got him an early sack to get that momentum going, man. So overall, man, hey, the Green Wave may have lost 37-20, but like everybody been saying, the score really don't show how good them boys played. And I'm really looking forward to them boys going to the Rock. Boo.
You gotta hit that door
Harrisburg,
back.
Mississippi, man. Going back to get that bell. Hey, Larry, what's your history like versus USM?
Okay, first, I mean, so first time I played him
On Forces Ball, I think.
on Forces, I think that's the first time I played him. I got an interception in the game. I started the
Mm.
game as a young player, got an interception. Tulane win. We get a ring on. I think we celebrate end of the year. You know what I'm saying?
And then, if I'm not mistaken, we go to them the next year, COVID. What
Yeah.
about that game?
Mm.
Mm.
Domination.
Lost the word.
Domination.
Hey, we got off,
Domination.
I remember we got off the bus and was trending because we had the Black Forces.
Black Forces. They
Forces.
knew what it was.
Shout out to that boy Devin Charles Hubbard for the Black Forces in 2020.
No, yeah, they already knew what it was, bro. We came out and dominated with no contest, dude. No
Most,
contest.
most definitely, man. I remember,
Contest.
beat them by like 40,
Yeah, no contest.
40 piece. And
Yeah.
then, if I'm not mistaken, the head coach got out of town after that too.
Mm.
Yeah, so I mean, we really, good things really don't happen for them uh mustard buzzards up
Yeah.
in Hattiesburg, Mississippi when the wave come to town. And so, just they may say, oh, last year. Larry, talk about last year when we played them.
Well, last year, Coach Hall, the head coach, there he was at the OC at Tulane for a couple of years, and that's a big game, big rival going between us and them. And it was just one of those games, man, where like we had opportunities to make some plays and we just missed them, and we just let them stick around, and at the end, man, it just they took advantage of their opportunities and they won the game, but it kind of just built us. I mean, that game just kind of built us, bro, for the
Most,
rest of the season for sure. But
most definitely, man. Hey, that game really set the tone. I'm glad. I'm glad
it
it.
hurt though. It hurt. It hurt seeing them run on the field, man, taking the bell from our stadium, man. It definitely hurt, but it could, like you said, it just set the tone for the rest of the season. So
Most definitely, man. I just remember losing that game, going in the locker room, and that's when everybody said I gave my infamous halftime. I mean, in the game speech. But really, man, I just was like telling the team, it doesn't matter. On to the next. Like, we lost the bell, we're gonna get it back.
yeah,
This is the opportunity for the Wave
exactly.
to
Yes,
go
sir.
up there and get that bell back, man.
Yeah.
So excited for them boys to see what they're gonna do this Saturday versus the Mustard Buzzards in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And that's gonna be the end of our two-lane segment for this week. But we not done. Going forward, man. Larry, just give a little shout out what people should expect going forward with the Talking That Yeah podcast.
No, yeah, man. We just getting on here, man, talking that yeah. Of course, we gonna talk that yeah all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
But yeah, man, we want y'all just to, maybe give us some suggestions, things to talk about. But we don't get on here and just talk about everything that's going on in the world. Tulane football, of course, and just football, whatever y'all want to talk about, man. Whatever y'all having debates about at home or whatever, locker room, Tulane
Most
football
definitely.
players, whatever y'all want to talk about, we get on here and talk about it. Give y'all our opinions.
Whether it's from relationship advice, your girl tripping, or your dude tripping, and the woman want to know things from a male perspective, or you want to get on here and ask some celebrity questions. Hey, me and Larry, hey, we got a big fan base. We got a big society of people that are in the NFL, in the NBA,
Yeah.
in the music industry. We're gonna have some guests on here, man. We're gonna have some guests on here. So I ain't gonna spoil it. We got a list of people we're gonna have on the podcast going forward. But just make sure y'all keep tuning in to the Talking That Yeah podcast. And last but not least, man,
Hold on, I got one more thing too, man. Hold on. I think we should do some live stuff too. Get on live, man, and you know, so we get some suggestions and just do stuff like that too, bro.
Hey man, there is no ceiling to what we doing, man. There is no ceiling to what we doing, man. This is just the introduction. You know, you can't get the people too much at one time.
No facts, you know, just
But
some slight.
without further ado, but before I do that, Larry, is there anything else you want to tell the people before I get his last shout out?
Man, that's it, man. I don't got nothing else, man.
Finally, I want to give a shout out to the No with a K. Shout out to them boys, man, for really helping us put this on and giving us this opportunity to get on here and talk that yeah. And it's your boy Neezy logging out for the night.
Later.
Larry, you got
We
him.